Yo, what's going on YouTube? Nassif here from Click, and today I'm be doing the final review, the full review of the Blu Vivo 6. Now this is a UK exclusive phone as of right now, I believe. So if you want to pick it up, I think it's something like 160 something pounds, 170 pounds or something in the UK. It's about the equivalent of about 300 something dollars here in Canada. So take of that what you will. You probably can't get it here in Canada unless you know someone in the UK who's willing to send it over for you. So it is what it is. So we're gonna get into it. I got to talk about the usual stuff: the screen, speakers, fingerprint scanner, cameras, build, software, and whatever comes to mind as we go along. So first things first, I want to talk about the battery, guys. It's a mediocre battery. Like I think battery size is meh, but the battery life is pretty decent. You get about 4.5 to 5 hours. I've been getting 4.5 to 5 hours screen on time, and considering this is an LCD display, an LCD panel, it's relatively decent considering. So I mean, you got to take into account that it is an LCD panel, not AMOLED. So the battery life's really decent. Haven't had any issues with overheating or getting hot or anything. And the charge times are, because it's USB-C, stupid quick. You plug it in and within like an hour, it's like 100%. It's so fast. But now I'm going to talk about the screen, which was talked about earlier, the 1080p AMOLED, or not AMOLED, 1080p LCD display. Now guys, don't get me wrong, it is a great display. It looks good. The colors are accurate. There's nothing, there's no colors are washed out or anything. The colors are nice. It's just when you compare it to this, let's say, or like an AMOLED, any AMOLED panel, it's just like there's no real comparison. Like you're looking at a LCD, it's like comparing, like an iPhone to, and it's like comparing an iPhone 3 to an iPhone 7. It's like the screen is completely different. They're two different screen technologies, and it's just fantastic. So, yeah, like the iPhone 7 screen is a million times better than the iPhone 3, right? So, and the thing is, it's the same I find with AMOLEDs. AMOLEDs to LCD. The AMOLED screens they're just better than LCD, and that's personal opinion. It all depends on personal preference. But for me and for my usage, I prefer an AMOLED panel just because it looks better and it's more of a party piece when you take it out and show people. So, it is what it is. The screen's great though. Don't get me wrong. I do enjoy the screen. Next, we'll talk about the build. Now, the build is fantastic, guys. I gotta say the home button, as I mentioned, I don't know if you guys, if this review goes up before the comparison between the other phones, you'll know that I said that the home button is super clicky, and it's just actually really quite satisfying to click. So that's a good thing. The power button and the what's it called, the volume rockers here are nice, and it's just overall a really nice looking phone. We have a little bit of a curve here on the back, as you guys can see, and I don't know if it's just me. Is that a bend in the display? No, it's not. Okay, never mind. That's just the curve of the phone. So I was gonna say, I'm like, what the hell? How did that bend already? But yeah, like the phone has a nice curve. The chamfered edges along the side here, and then it kind of bleeds into the display. It's not seamless by any means, but it is a lot better than the stuff that Blue's put out before. But yeah, in terms of build, it feels like an HTC. It looks like one as well. The buttons are clicky on the side here, and the only problem is this power button kind of it's kind of recessed in a little bit too much for my liking. So I prefer the power button to be a little bit stuck out more, so we have nice proper clicky feedback when you click it. So. But otherwise, the build is nice. It looks fantastic. And if it didn't have that blue logo on the back, which I do think Blue phones should get rid of or make it a lot smaller, it would look, you'd think it's an HTC or something. So that's a good thing. Along the front here, you have the camera and I guess the ambient sensor or whatever. So again, just the build overall is really nice and clean, nice and basic, nothing too fancy going on here. And just it's a very nice build. Phone feels nice in the hand. That's what she said. And then also I want to talk about the software experience. Now, when we're talking about the software here, it's just like butter. There's no issues. There's no stutter. We got 4 gigs of RAM, 64-bit octa-core processor. Just there's nothing to mention other than it's just fantastic. It's buttery smooth. It's almost like stock Android. Like I would compare this to a Nexus or a Pixel phone, because that's how smooth and buttery that this software is. So that's a really good plus there. What else do I want to talk about here? The cameras, guys. It's super disappointing. Now you gotta keep here. What do I have here? I've got a Swiss Army knife. Sorry. So let's take this picture. Now you guys have to keep in mind I am in crappy lighting. However, I mean, the camera quality is just you know, abysmal. It's terrible. Like, come on, look at that. You zoom in and it's already started to pixelate, and it's just not up to par with what I would think would be for you know, a Vivo phone from Blue. Like, you know, the Vivo 5, the Vivo 5R, those have good cameras. Then you put a crappy camera on this thing. It's like, what was the point? You may as well have just, you know, not put a camera on in the first place. So it is what it is. In terms of like daylight shots, it'll take decent daylight shots when you're outside, but if you come inside with natural, not natural, like you know, the lights from your fan or your ceiling or your lamps or whatever, and you try to take a picture, it's gonna be super pixelated and super crappy. So that's something to mention there. In terms of the speakers, they're the same as the Pure XR, really loud. Little bit of crackling at high ends, and the low end is definitely there, but it almost feels artificial, like there's some sort of software tweaking going on to make that low end feel a little bit or sound a little bit better. But it's a decent speaker overall. Is it comparable to any iPhone or HTC or anything? Obviously not, because this is, you know, half the price, less than half the price of those phones. So you can't really expect too much, but that's a good enough speaker for you know, media consumption, YouTube, music, movies, and all that stuff. What else do I want to talk about here? So we went over the screen, the build, the battery, the cameras, the software. These capacitive buttons I don't like at all. If you guys already know, these Blue phones, the touch area is so small, and they don't give you light up buttons. So it's like, what the hell? But it is what it is. It's a small thing. Another thing is, now I want to talk about is, do I recommend this phone? And the answer to that is not really. I don't know why. Like, I don't know, like this Vivo 6, it's a great phone, don't get me wrong, but the thing is you can get the Vivo 5 with an AMOLED display, and I get it, the 5 is an AMOLED display with 720p resolution, however the AMOLED just looks better. And at the price point of this, I think this it's about $300. For me, I would just tell someone, you know, spend the extra 100 and get the Pure XR. So, but it's not a terrible phone. Don't get me wrong. I do love this phone. It's a great phone. 5.5 inch screen, 5.5 inch display. It's really nice. Nice one-handed phone for me anyway. Can get around the whole phone with one hand. Not too much shuffling. But again, is it really worth that, you know, $300 price tag? I don't know, guys. I don't know, because of the camera. And the thing is, the camera for me is a huge thing. Like, I do use my camera. I use a phone camera to record my videos. So if it takes crappy pictures or crappy quality stuff, what's the point, right? So for $300, I would tell someone, save that extra $100 up for another day and go buy the Pure XR on Amazon, or you know, get the Energy XL or the Pure XL, or you know, get a different higher end phone than this one. So but don't get me wrong, it is a fantastic one. If you only have the money to buy this one, it's definitely a good buy, definitely worth it. But again, it's just that camera that kind of turns me off of it, because it's like I use a phone camera to record my videos. So it is what it is, guys. Take of that what you will. If you like this video, feel free to drop a like on it. And if you have anything to say about the Vivo 6, any comments, any questions or anything like that, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And if you guys like the content on the channel, definitely drop a subscribe to us. And you know, click that notification bell. Let yourself know when our videos go live. Anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. This has been the review of the Blu Vivo 6, the UK exclusive phone at the time of recording, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. I'm out. Peace.